Hey Browns fans, welcome to Browns All Access. Nathan Segura alongside Bernie Kosar. And Bernie, the Greg Williams era began against the Chiefs on Sunday. The Browns, competitive, didn't get the win, but what did you think of the first showing under the new head coach?
I think I'm a little bit conflicted. For part of me, from the fan perspective, from the Browns backer perspective, from the viewer perspective right now, I think it was a positive thing. The ability to come out, use the word competitive, to be competitive, to challenge one of the top teams in the league. There's no doubt we did that. Where I'm conflicted is from the player standpoint, from the team standpoint, from the coaching standpoint. Oh, yeah, yes, we are competitive, but I do think in the pros, it's so imperative that you don't take consolation in just doing good, in just being competitive. I think it's so dangerous if you start feeling good about yourself when you just were good, or you just were competitive, or you almost won.
Right, and I think you go against the Chiefs. This is one of the most elite teams in the NFL, the highest scoring offense, as they put 37 on the Browns, but had come into the game averaging 36.2 points per game. Now, speaking of offense, I thought at times, Bernie, to me anyway, the most important thing over the second half of the season is Baker Mayfield and his development, and I thought Freddie Kitchens, calling the plays for the first time, did a great job of making Baker comfortable and productive.
Well, from that standpoint, from being comfortable and the productivity standpoint, getting in the end zone 3 times, it definitely was a positive sign. Freddie Kitchens, for his first regular season game, calling plays and his utilization of the running backs and his understanding of the Kansas City defense and the vulnerabilities of the defenses, we took good advantage of that.
Absolutely. You mentioned Freddie Kitchens and the running backs. Was the running backs coach before becoming the play caller. Really went to them a lot. 33 combined touches, 176 total yards, all 3 touchdowns scored by the running backs. And I know our fans were happy to see Duke Johnson have his best game and highest utilization this year.
Absolutely nice to see the incorporation of the multiple running backs of Chubb and Duke Johnson. I do think that it's natural to say, because Freddie Kitchens was coming over from the running backs, that because he's the running back coach, he would hook up his guys being the running backs and utilize them within the scheme of the game plan, which he did. That being said, I think also is somewhat of a part of necessity. The younger receivers have been having their drops, as we've talked about throughout the year. The consistency of getting separation really hasn't been there. So our running backs have been some of our most productive players, and we saw that this past Sunday.
We certainly did. Duke Johnson, 9 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, but Nick Chubb played a big role as well, rushing for over 80 yards and another touchdown on the ground. Let's take a look at one of his big runs with offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens in our play breakdown. Here with Browns offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens. And Freddie, we're going to take a look now at one of the many successful runs you had against the Kansas City Chiefs. What were you hoping to get here in this look, and talk to us about this play?
Well, we're just treating it as a sub defense and a good sub run, and trying to get it without any safety force or on the backside. So this is just basically inside zone with the backside cutoff. And Seth does a good job here cutting off the backside. These guys do a good job of running and pinning them. And Nick, of course, reads it right and hits it up in the A gap.
When you design a play like this where you're asking your tight end to come across the formation and get that weak side, what are kind of the pitfalls to that, and what are the advantages to doing it?
Well, the pitfalls of it would be if they didn't carry the crosser coming across to kick out the backside, which they didn't carry him here, but they are dropping into the weak side to carry in case we released him to the flat. So one way or the other, you want to end up with the guy that you can't block on the weak side when you're running the ball strong.
When you have a guy who blends power and speed like Nick Chubb, how does that help you as a play caller?
You can't put a price on that from the simple fact of you don't have to be perfect with your play call. These guys up front don't have to be perfect, although they did very well in this last game, those guys up front, in the run game and the pass game. I mean, the 2 sacks we gave up were mental errors. Those guys performed very well up front, and Nick would be the first to tell you that.
You see their good job blocking it up. Seth DeValve coming across formation, but Nick Chubb, that blend of speed and power certainly makes him look like a rookie to watch in 2018.
Well, Nathan, a good point with the speed and power. If I could add patience to that too. We saw in his touchdown run, and then we saw in that 17-yard run just the past scene there, his patience in the hole. They do a nice job of getting into the pressure and getting into the, but keeping his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. And then the first sign of daylight that he saw, he was able to cut it up in there and take it up to the second level, and then making guys miss like that to get it into that 15 to 20 yard range.
Absolutely, and I think when you look at the Browns backfield, I think it's the best collection of playmakers you have on this team. Freddie Kitchens was wise to utilize them because both of them have one unique skill. The first guy never gets them down. Sometimes for Chubb, he's going to run you over. Duke Johnson knows how to get around you, but a good start for Freddie Kitchens as the offensive coordinator and a very good start for our young running backs. And now we'll be back with more Browns All Access right after this. Still to come, Browns rookie running back Nick Chubb was mic'd up against the Chiefs, and Duke Johnson talks about playing in Freddie Kitchens' offense.